And we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we will be discussing Jay Morrison. I made a video about 3 days ago, and in that video, I stated that I would no longer cover Jay Morrison in the Tulsa Real Estate Fund because I felt like it was going in a direction that I did not want to be a part of. But then Jay Morrison decided to put up this post, and I'm going to get to this post in a second. Basically, he's deciding that he wants to take legal action against trolls and people that are trying to slander and run his name through the mud. Now, what's interesting is that in the past few days, some interviews have surfaced. An interview with his former business partner, Roderick Standback, and one of his ex-employees. And in those interviews, they disclosed how they were treated and their experiences with Jay Morrison. And let's just say that they didn't have a good experience. They didn't have one of these pro-black loving experiences that Jay Morrison loves to proclaim. And after this stream is over, I'm going to go meet with my attorney because I'm assuming that I must be one of these quote unquote trolls that is trolling him that he's going to take legal action against. And I'm not going to allow anyone to bully me or let anyone try to silence me. I made it very clear that the information that I was presenting as far as Tony and his experience was his allegations. But when it comes to the Tulsa Real Estate Fund not performing, I'm going straight based upon the information from the Tulsa Real Estate Fund SEC report. See, I don't participate in slander. I participate in information that can be verified, information that is documented, and information that is that's objective, not subjective. At the end of the day, it's been 2 years. You did not return a profit for your investors. And then you stated out of your mouth that you do not know what you are. Therefore, you had no business running this fund. And now we are in the middle of a pandemic and people need their money back. And you decided to close the fund and lock up people's resources. So it's safe to say that, at this point, there's something going on. And when you listen to these interviews from the ex-employee and from his former business partner, their experiences are so similar. And the way that they were treated, the way that the funds were treated in a business, and just Jay's business practices overall. At a certain point, once a person shows you who they are, you have to believe them. So I'm going to play these interviews, and then I'm going to give my commentary throughout these interviews. But it's important that you understand, again, these are their individual experiences. These are allegations at this point as far as to what's going on. And I want to be clear because I want to protect myself legally. And this is why when I made the video about young Pharaoh and Jay Morrison, it's a reason why I said that young Pharaoh owed him an apology. See, when you are as dirty as Jay is, you don't have to make up slander and lies on him because the truth is going to speak for itself. But to say that he pocketed $1.3 million when you can't legally prove that and it didn't happen, that's problematic because, see, now it gives him cover. See, I'm going to nail him down with the truth. And I actually have the LLC documents and everything to prove that Roderick Standback is his former business partner. So with that being said, guys, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Make sure that you join the mailing list so that in the future you will be notified when I go live. And if you want to contact me, a link to my Instagram will be in the description below. Simply follow me and shoot me a direct message. If you can see the screen clearly and you can hear me clearly, type 1 and we will get started. So let's look at the chat. Hello, everyone. Okay, we see some ones coming through. So let's get straight to it. So instead of Jay Morrison trying to take care of Tony and fix the problem. Instead of trying to fix the problem, and thank you for the donation, he now wants to take legal action. And I spoke to Tony on the phone for well over an hour. Me and Tony, we chopped it up. We had a really good conversation. And he seems sincere in what he's saying. And he has documentation to back up his claims. So let's read what Jay Morrison put up. There has been a recent blitz of false allegations and paid ads against our family name and family group of companies. We refuse to entertain or tolerate online trolls who attempt to disparage us on Instagram and otherwise, because the allegations and ads are blatantly false. We represent Black love, Black integrity, Black excellence, and constantly strive to meet the utmost standards of professionalism. We will not feud or respond to false allegations and paid ads online and Instagram court. And he put it in quotes, as that does not represent our values. We choose to lead by example and show our community how to properly address slander, lies, defamation, and how to effectively defend your family name, reputation, and seek redress. Accordingly to our attackers and accusers, you are now on official legal notice that we will see you and deal with you in real court. We have run successful businesses for years and have a duty to the hundreds of thousands of our clients and supporters to handle these types of matters like seasoned and professional businessmen and women do in real life. To our supporters and TREF investors, rest assured that we will continue to walk upright and proud and act with the same integrity and honesty as we always have. We are constantly working to create and achieve higher standards for us and our community. And that's great, Jay, because I'm going to come today with some facts. I'm not coming here to play with you. And trust me, you're not the only one that has a little bit of money. So if you are talking about suing me, then I'll see you in court. Trust me when I tell you, when I get off this live stream, I'm going directly to go sit down with my attorney so that I can also lawyer up. So I'm not afraid and I will not be bullied, and you're not going to keep me quiet, because the information that I'm going to present today are, number one, individuals' experiences. And I'm entitled with my platform to raise awareness when you are doing unethical things with people's money, when you are using Black trauma and Black pain, and you're using real things that are happening to people in their lives so that you can then sell them your real estate courses and you can sell them your real estate fund. You are pimping people's trauma. I'm not saying that racism and white supremacy doesn't exist. What I'm saying is that your fund doesn't fix it. And it's unethical what you're doing. And to claim that you love Black people, but there's so many Black people right now that are coming forward, that are direct messaging me, that are sending me their receipts, that they donated, because that's not an investment. That TREF fund is not an investment. That's a donation. And it's been 2 years and you did not return a profit to these people. And you positioned yourself as an authority when you didn't know what the hell you were doing. And now we're in the middle of a pandemic and people need their money back, and you're telling them they can't get their money back. And then you're blocking them. You're blocking them. You cannot dismiss these people as haters. These are people who believed in your vision and they supported you. Now, this right here, this is the certificate of formation. I'm not here to play with you. Right here, Roderick Stanback, member, 150 Monument Road, Bollisonwood, Pennsylvania. He's a part of your business. He's a part of Jay Morrison Academy, LLC. This is your former business partner. And he's saying that you don't know what the hell you're doing. And he's saying that you have unethical business practices. This is not me saying this. This is your former business partner saying this. And for those of you who want to come on my video and say, oh, where's the receipts? You can go here. See, a lot of you need to learn how to walk and chew gum. You can come up here to the New Jersey Treasury and you can go pull up these documents as well. It costs $1. You can go pull up these documents as well. So we're going to listen to the interview with Roderick Stanback, who is a part of the Jay Morrison Academy, and let him tell you how his business experience was when dealing with Jay Morrison. See, I don't have to slander you. I don't have to lie. I don't have to come up here and make up allegations about you. So I'm gonna play the interview. I'm gonna start playing some of the interview.
I never seen anybody like this guy. I never did. You know what I mean? You see, he involved. He all over the place. He involved in a lot of stuff, but he ain't a master of shit. You know, my name is Rod Stanback. I'm the CEO and founder of Flip Funding. Me and Jay was once partners. Actually, we kind of still are partners. You know what I mean? Because I never signed off on the Jay Morrison to remove my ownership of the Jay Morrison Academy because I mean, me and him just haven't been in communication in years. Wow. You know what I mean? I feel like. Walked away after fighting for a while, with him. But to give you a little backstory, I was introduced to Jay through the Breakfast Club interview that he did with Angela Yee. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? At the time, I was investing in real estate on my own. You know what I mean? Doing pretty well for myself, but I'm listening. He got me just like everybody else. You know what I mean? If he does anything well. He speaks well, you know what I mean? He knows how to teach a good game. So he was talking about doing like apartment buildings and hotels and all this old big money stuff, you know what I mean? I'm sitting around like, like it was inspiring to me because I'm a black man trying to make it. I didn't know this before social media was really popping like that. I'm still not heavy on social media. It's never been my thing like that. He was on there, but it just wasn't people out there talking about real estate. I reached out to him. And he had a partner at the time, a man, me and him was communicating. I reached out for him to be my mentor. So we set it up or whatever. And it was official. So my first time meeting Jay, Jay was hosting overnight, some type of overnight thing for troubled youth in Perth Amboy. During this event, Charlemagne was supposed to show up. A guy named Ash Cash was there. Yeah, so Ash Cash was there. Charlemagne didn't show up. He was supposed to, whatever. But we went, you know what I mean? I met him. And it was a cool event. It was something that I wanted to be a part of because when I was coming up, I used to, participate in stuff like that as a kid. Then a few days later, he told me he was coming down to Atlantic City. He knew I was in Philly. He was like, it was a pleasure meeting you. This and that. I really want to bring you in my camp and this and that. So meet me down in Atlantic City. We busted up or whatever. So we went down there. And, gambled all a little bit for a minute, and we kicked it. A long time went by, and mind you, I told you I contacted him to be my coach or mentor in real estate. But I told him how many properties I had, this and that. He saw that I was already advanced, and I knew about real estate investing. There was nothing that he could contribute to my, my investment business. So he saw opportunity. So he reached out to me, and this around the time again he was popping. He was putting out them wake up videos and everything on World Star. He was generating a buzz, and it was a lot of people reaching out to him to be their mentor. And after I was already, in the circle, quote unquote, or whatever. So he came to me like, "Look, bro, he had like a heart to heart." You know what I mean? He was like, "Look, bro," he's like, "I got this idea because everybody keep hitting me up to be a mentor, but I just don't have the time to, to address all of them. I can't work with all of them. I don't want to leave them hanging." So I got this idea. Let's start a school, a real estate investing school. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, like that's a great ass idea. Like,
So understand, for those of you who may not understand what's going on right now, he's giving you the backstory as to how he met Jay Morrison and how they became business partners. And see, this is extremely important because as you hear his story, his experience and story is similar to the story that Tony the Closer. His experience is similar to Tony the Closer. Tony the Closer is successful in real estate. This brother right here is already successful in real estate. You can't dismiss him as a troll because his name is on the documentation of the business. His name is on the Jay Morrison Academy LLC documentation that you can go pull up from the New Jersey Treasury. Roderick Standback. So this you can't dismiss this as some, this disgruntled guy, this some hater. No, this is his experience that he actually had with Jay Morrison. And he's still on the documentation. See, where there's smoke, there is fire. Everyone cannot keep saying the same thing about you. And notice that he said he got inspired from the Breakfast Club. I told you, these schemers and scammers, they all gravitate around the same platforms. These deceivers, these unethical businessmen and women, they all gravitate around the same platform. They all gravitate the same podcasts, the same radio shows. And then when they bring these people to you, after the deal goes wrong, do you hear Charlemagne and them speaking out about the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, trying to see you to get people's money back? Do you hear them speaking about Umar and what's happening with the school? Do they ever speak out about when things go wrong? Oh, it's because we're black. We just got to be quiet. So it's okay for him to take black people's money and block them when they want to know what's going on. It's okay to do that. That's black empowerment. But they don't want to use their platform to bring awareness to what's going on. So let's finish listening to this interview.
I mean, now, during this conversation, he like, look, you know what I mean? I got the idea, but I don't have no money. Like, you know what I mean? This shit you be seeing, I mean, when you see me dressed all sharp and all that stuff, he's like, I get this stuff from Neiman. Get it from Neiman's, and I go take it right back after. I shoot a video or something. That's how I stay fresh and this and that. Like, you know what I mean? He was taking the clothes back that he was buying, and so like when he told me that, I didn't even judge him. You know what I mean? Because shit gets real in life. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not the type I'm not standing next to him like because of what you got and everything. You know what I mean? Like if I'm down with you, I'm with you. Like, you know what I mean? And what's even bigger than that, I knew the potential that we had with this thing because I saw the traction that he had. He was loving them, you know what I mean? So I'm like, with his following, my knowledge that I have, we can form something great here and for our community. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it was sold to me. He was like, you know what I mean? I wanted to focus toward black people, you know what I mean? And I just saw the opportunity. I'm like, I don't care about the financial situation if you bring clothes and taking them back. I don't care because I'm seeing the long run here. You know what I mean? This could have been something magnificent for the black culture. You know what I mean? Like, it was nothing out there. We see a lot of the, white people, other cultures doing it, but there was no black people doing it like that. You know what I mean? So that's what really attracted me to this thing. So I'm like, listen, man, I got some money. I got this knowledge of real estate investing. You do what you do. You be the front man and continue doing what you're doing. I handle everything else. You know what I mean? So that's what we did. So I put up the money to start the Jay Morrison Academy, and he said he didn't have any money. You know what I mean? He might have had a little something, but he ain't had no money for sure. I know that. You know what I mean? He definitely didn't have no money, and he damn sure didn't put a dime into the Jay Morrison Academy. I got away from him. You know what I mean? Because I started to see some things, and then he just a difficult person to deal with. I'd rather not. I came to the conclusion that I'd rather just walk away. You know what I mean? And continue doing what I was doing because I ain't have to deal with him and his bullshit. So anyway, I was still doing my thing in Philly, but I had people inside. And it was my company. They knew that. They knew Jay was doing grimy stuff behind my back. So they were still sending me all the info. I knew everything that was going on. So basically, it was a great marketing plan, but it all was a fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was perfect timing because this was around the time when Jeezy got caught with all them guns in Cali. So he needed that good publicity. And, Karen Civil, she's a PR person. Like, you know what I mean? You can't blame her. She's in the PR business. Mm-hmm. So they reached out to her and paid her $10,000, not $2,000. That's what I got, the story I got. I doubt if they moved him for $2,000. You know what I mean? So, and I got this from his manager. He told me that they paid Karen Civil $10,000. And
so understand what he's saying. He's talking about marketing. The whole Jeezy thing, based upon what he's alleging, was all marketing. And if you look at this check, any person with an IQ above room temperature can tell, why would you need to give out a scholarship to an online, quote unquote, academy or university? Why wouldn't Jay just give it away for free? Right? So clearly you can look at this and tell that this was PR. And the girlfriend, now think about this. See, how do all of these people have the same story? So his ex-girlfriend is saying that they paid Karen Civil $2,000. And now the business partner who's on the LLC documents, Roderick Stanback, is saying, no, it was $10,000. Right? So let's just divide it. Let's divide 2 and into 10. Okay, the average price is $5,000. Okay? So basically they paid $5,000 for marketing and publicity. But see, before we get back to the interview, we have to pay attention to things because, again, when you start following the trail, look at the marketing for the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. See, understand that Jay Morrison markets himself more than he markets his product. See, that should be a red flag to you, right? He markets himself more than he markets the product. Look what it said. See, you have to follow a pattern here. There's a pattern of behavior. He said this is on the Shade Room. This power couple is set on purchasing and developing an entire town. When they invoked the name Tulsa Real Estate, you have to understand where they were going with that marketing. The marketing was to tap into Black people's pain in this country. And to tap into and to imply. This is implying that when you invest in a Tulsa Real Estate Fund, that you are investing in rebuilding Black Wall Street. See, it's important that you understand what's going on here. And then now, he never purchased anything in the Tulsa Real Estate Fund from the town Tulsa. Where's the town? The entire town that he developed. Right? But that's how they were marketing Treff. It's important that you pay attention to this. Right? Because there's a pattern of behavior. Go back here. This wake up video that he did. He's in the back of it looks like a Phantom or a Rolls Royce. Yet at the time, his girlfriend said he was broke. His former business partner saying he's broke. But what is he doing here? This video was on World Star Hip Hop. What is he doing here? He's going after a certain demographic of people. He's positioning himself to go after certain people. He's using Black people's pain and trauma to get you emotional, to make you think that if you invest in Tulsa real estate, if you invest with Jay Morrison, you're going to buy back a town. And it never happened. And I want to play this video for you because, see, it's important that you pay attention to the England. So when you listen to Roderick Stanback, you understand that he's not just some disgruntled employee or some ex-business partner that's jealous because Jay is bigger than him. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a problem with his marketing. It's unethical. It's unethical to invoke Tulsa and to make it seem like you're going to purchase a town and develop it, and then you get the money and you go build a legacy center. So now let's play this. I want you to hear what's going on here.
I am not the strongest nor the best Berlinda that my family's ever made. But what I am is the one who's here 4 generations after slavery, in the middle. You know, our Native brothers and sisters like to talk about 7 generations. This is the tipping point. That's me. And I'll be damned if those bricks are going to be lost on my watch.
To those who aim to oppress us, to manipulate us, to misuse us and our ancestral legacy, we are not having it. We will not allow you to continue to misuse our ancestral legacy. At 101 and 102 Greenwood, we will reclaim and you will relinquish those properties that you stole once through bombing and burning. stole twice through urban renewal and eminent domain. Saving Black Wall Street.
I am.
This is important that you understand that, how this was marketed from the beginning. So when you hear the business partner talking about the marketing and then you hear the employee speak about this, this is important because it shows a pattern here. It shows a pattern of trying to invoke emotionalism and go after a demographic of people who don't have any business investing in this fund in the first place. See, you cannot preach group economics without group risk. You can't structure the fund where you get all of the benefit and your investors take all of the reward. Because, see, your money's locked up right now, but he's still getting paid because he's on payroll. See, your money's locked up in the fund, but I guarantee you he's still getting a salary. I guarantee you his wife is still getting a salary. He's still charging you a management fee while your money is locked up. And the town was never purchased and developed as was marketed on the Shade Room. So let's get back to the interview.
That's when they put the whole thing together about the scholarship. Now, the scholarship was all bullshit because it was an online academy. It is. How the fuck you gonna track the payments? Like, you know what I mean? And everything online. You can't track anything. Yeah, the course was already done. I wrote the course. I did every damn lesson. And then right before Jay, I would send the lesson. I would send the lesson to Jay. And then he would review it and learn it. And like I said, he has like a photographic memory. You know what I mean? That's one thing about it. So I would send him the stuff probably an hour before he had to do the video, before each session would go live on the platform that we were using for the course. And then he would ask me, so this is how I know he didn't know shit about it, because Jay's the type of egotistical person. He's not going to admit what he doesn't know. You know what I mean? But when I'm giving him stuff about each course, he's asking me questions like, you know, well, why is this? Or, you know, what will make him do this and this and that? I'm explaining to him, you know what I mean? So he get a better understanding that he can go and do the video for like 15 minutes. Then we put out the lesson for that week. I know he was licensed as a realtor, but I did go to one house that he had listed. He had a $10 million listing. I did go there with him, walk through it and everything like that, but he couldn't sell it. You know what I mean? He couldn't sell it. He ended up actually, it goes back to my point that I was making prior to this. He actually lost his license. Coldwell Bank. He was licensed with Coldwell Banker. They actually took his license. He's not a licensed real estate agent anymore. And I've never seen him with the property for investment purposes. I've never seen him invest in any property. Never heard about anything. He said little bullshit stuff. You know what I mean? Like I think he made a video and he was saying how his first property he pulled up. And they was like, Daddy, the landlord is coming or something. Or Mommy, the landlord is coming. That's bullshit. But yeah, I've never seen him with any properties outside of, I mean, this new thing now that he's, you know, he had. But that's what, you know, the fund's money. As far as the academy, it was just me and him. You know what I mean? Like we was on the documents, he was 50%, I was 50%. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't any of that stuff that's going on now. You know what I mean? But that was initially, you know, but I told you I stepped away and I'm still an owner of the Jay Morrison Academy, but I never seen a dime from it. But I decided to take a step back, you know, because I didn't want to deal with him no more. So I came back and doing my thing. And he did, one thing I will say, he did hit me up. And he was like.
So, again, this is the man that is on the documentation. He's on the certificate of formation. You cannot dismiss this as just a person that's hating. And again, we're going to play an interview with the former employee because I want to show you, I want to start putting things together for you so you can start to see something here. There's a pattern here. So now we're going to listen to an ex-employee and listen to what he's saying.
100%. I'd have took a bullet for him. Like, absolutely. No doubt in my mind, bro. And he has this, like, gift, like, this way of keeping you kind of, like, married to like his vision and what he's doing, despite the fact like you see these little red flags that pop up occasionally. But he has a way of just like finessing people, bro, that keeps them kind of bought into what he's doing. Like, that's his gift, man. He's got the gift of finesse. But the longer I stuck around, the more I started to see the truth. You know what I'm saying? So like when you came on board with Jay, I had just stepped up to my VP position. And I think it was like right before you linked with him that I stepped in that position. And once I was in that position, bro, it was so apparent, like, why the company was doing as bad as it was, like, why there was no organization, why there was no structure, why things were just running amok like they were. And it's because he wanted to have his hand in everything, bro. Like, he doesn't trust his employees. He doesn't really give a shit about them, you know, unless they're doing, like, exactly to a T what he wants. And even then, there's always something you should be doing different, or always something you should be doing better, or whatever the case might be. But one of the reasons I left is because my lawyer told me to leave, because I got my paycheck stubs and all that shit at the end of the year for taxes. And when I got them, I didn't hardly do any work for Tulsa Real Estate Fund, like at all. Like, you know, I was hired for Jay Morrison Academy. But when I got my paycheck stubs in, and I didn't even know this, I had like, was it over 70 or 40,000 something dollars? I don't remember. It was a good amount of money that was paid to me through the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, and I was hired to work for Jay Morrison Academy.
Wow.
So what he does, he takes the money from his fund and he pays his other businesses.
So you get paid by Tulsa Real Estate Fund?
Yeah, and like...
So you working for the Jay Morrison Academy, but getting paid by the Tulsa Real Estate Fund?
Pretty much. And then, like, there was a lot of employees that were that way. And you know, they may do 10 or 15% work or dress, but the vast majority of all the work they do was, at least when I was there, because that's the only time I can speak about, is when I was there, the vast majority of them were not working for Trev. They were working on his other businesses.
So I want to take a step back now. Listen to this is allegedly this is an ex-employee. These are his allegations, his experience. He's alleging that Jay Morrison was taking money from the Tulsa Real Estate Fund and paying him. So he's taking money from the Tulsa Real Estate Fund and funneling that money to his other businesses. This is what the employee's alleging. I want you to think about that for a second. I want you to think about that. What else did he say? That he's unorganized, he's scattered, he's all over the place. Guys, follow, just look at his Instagram. Follow his Instagram. Today he wants to be a social justice warrior. He wants to be a political activist. Then he wants to get into politics. Now he's trying to start the Black Rights Party. Next week he wants to do credit repair. Then he wants to do wholesaling. Then he wants to do fix and flips. And this is why if you watch the Vlad interview, that's why Vlad didn't want to put any money into the business, because there was no true vision of the fund. Now, some of you are saying it's illegal. It's not illegal if the fund is structured where JMA Academy is a part of the fund. See, I don't think a lot of you understand the way that you can structure a corporation. Again, I don't know this to be true, right? Right now, this is speculation. I don't know this to be true, right? So I can't say this with a high degree of certainty. But if JMA Academy is under the umbrella of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund and people are working, then he can pay them legally. And this is what I was trying to say to you, that when you look at this, what he's doing is legal. It's not illegal. It's unethical. It's unethical what he's doing. That's what so many of you don't understand. It's not that it's a scam. It's not that it's a Ponzi scheme. It's not that it's illegal. It's unethical what he's doing. He's going into neighborhoods in Detroit. He's going into neighborhoods like Compton, and he's giving a corner class. And then at the end of the corner class, allegedly, he's offering them a one-time special opportunity to join his academy for $497. Allegedly. This is what Tony the Closer was telling me, that when he went to, Tony the Closer said when he was in Compton, they were in LA, And he watched Jay Morrison do a corner class. And at the end of the corner class, he offered them a special deal to join JMA Academy for $497. That's unethical. And then to utilize what happened with Nipsey Hussle. See, there's a rhyme there. And so many of you are missing that rhyme. $497, I mean $497, not $4.97. That's the marketing tactics. As I said, you can look at how they were in front of the mansion when they did the marketing for the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Everything about it was unethical, and it's just not good business. And he spends more time trying to brand himself as a celebrity than he does in focusing on the fund. And that's why the fund is underperforming.
Now, like towards the end when I went to leave, he did get like a compliance officer and all that other shit. Like I saw you posted that one from his compliance officer. I don't remember her name for some reason. It's been so long. But yeah, man, it was rough, bro. It was not good. And you know, bro, he also like towards the end of like my time with him, probably like the last 2 to 3 months, it became like super apparent and clear that like he did not give a shit about the customers. He did not give a shit about his investors. Like all that stuff just became so apparent, so clear. Like Jay cares about Jay, period. Like it is Jay over everybody, 100%. And so like towards that end, like one of the things that really started to upset me was watching how he would ride with what's ever going on with the culture.
Exactly.
He would ride the coattail of that to raise money or to sell stuff. And like, I'm a white dude, bro. And it made me sick. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh man, I don't know. It's just a jumble fuck to raise. And like one of the things that really started to upset me was watching how he would ride with what's ever going on with the culture.
Exactly.
He would ride the coattail of that to raise money or to sell stuff. And like, I'm a white dude, bro. And it made me sick. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh man, I don't know. Dude was watching how he would ride with what's ever going on with the culture.
Exactly.
He would ride the coattail of that to raise money or to sell stuff. And like, I'm a white dude, bro. And it made me sick. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh man, I don't know.
Do you hear what he just said? That right there sums up this entire video. That right there sums up the entire video right there. I can end the stream right here based upon what he just said. He said he uses what's happening in the culture to sell his products. That is disgusting and it is unethical. Like I told you guys in the last video, he was promoting and marketing this in the Forbes when his wife and the other lady was in that Forbes article. And they were talking about that they were going to combat gentrification with a $12 million fund. That is asinine. It makes no sense. And it's a flat out lie. There's no way you're going to combat gentrification with $10 million is peanuts when you're dealing with funds that have billions of dollars under management. The Tulsa Real Estate Fund is not going to stop white supremacy. It is not going to stop racism. It is not going to stop police brutality. It is not going to close the wealth gap. It is not going to fix income inequality. And to go into poor neighborhoods, into poor communities, and to promote that is unethical. And look at his market. Our culture gravitates towards rap. Our culture gravitates towards hip hop. So he picks celebrities. He picked the Breakfast Club. He picks the Maybach, the shiny suits, the Nipsey Hussles of the world. To make you think that somehow, this is going to liberate us. It's unethical. When you see my business, that I have, my tech academy, you don't see me out here promoting that this is going to fix gentrification, that this is going to fix the wealth gap, right? When you come over here to my website, you don't see me promoting that type of stuff. I don't promote that. I don't tell you that we're going to fix gentrification and we're going to fix the wealth gap. I don't tell you that. It's a lie. When you come over here, do you see an Ankh? Do you see a Fez? Do you see a red, black, and green flag? Do you see anything about black power here? I would be lying to you if I told you that you're going to join My Tech Academy and we're going to fix poverty and we're going to fix racism and white supremacy. I would be lying to you. If you are poor, you don't have any business investing. Investing's not going to fix the water in Flint, Michigan. You don't hear me on here talking about Ahmaud Arbery or George Floyd. I'm not trying to start no political reference. I'm not invoking the ancestors, O.W. Gurley and all of this foolishness. I'm not talking about Tulsa and promising you that we're going to fix this. If you are poor, you have no business investing in any business. You should be investing in skills. You should be focused on your politics. You can't do group economics without group resources. Now, some of us, we do have resources. Then we do business. If you have the ability to do for self, then do for self. But I guarantee you those people that are at those corner classes, they have no business investing in that fund. They don't have the money to be doing it. And you can't practice group economics without group risk. All of the risk is on you, the investor. For a man who told you he doesn't know what he's doing. And it's clear he doesn't know what he's doing. So let's get back to the interview.
It's just a jumble fucking mess.
What happened, like, just from your perspective with the fucking event, right?
Yeah.
What all did you see that I didn't see?
That's a good question, man. To be honest with you, I don't know the full extent of what happened. I know that there was some stuff that went on between you and EJ and Eugene, and I don't know what happened there.
What was the story? Somebody told you something happened between me and EJ?
No, something happened between, so I remember there was that time that, you called and you were upset with me and Damien, right? Or not even necessarily upset with us, but just upset. And so we told Jay, yo, Tony's upset, what are we going to do about, this situation you were upset about? It's been a while. But I remember we went to Jay and we were like, yo, what are we going to do about this? And then I remember they mentioned something between, I believe it was you and Eugene. So I'm not 100% sure, bro, what happened. I just remember that, Jay hit me up and he said that we were pulling out.
Yeah, with Gene, I was asking for the money to be released, right? So Eugene needed money to pay for something. And at the time, I think it was $60,000 inside the Stripe account. And I had just gave Eugene $50K the week before. I had spent over a total of $100,000. So I was I had told Jay, I said, hey, it's time to go into the Stripe and start paying for these expenses. I said, it doesn't make any sense for me to be now digging in my pocket to pay for event expenses when there's money coming in from the ticket sales that should cover that. I said, that's what that's for. So I think it was on a Wednesday, I had sent Jay a text telling him that Gene needed the money. And it was the next Friday, I had to send him a message bro, what the fuck? Because Gene calls me, he's I'm in Baltimore eating breakfast, and he's grilling me hey, man, I can't move like this if you don't have the money ready and this, that, and third. And that. I'm like, man, you don't get the fuck off my phone. I said, first off, you sit right there with Jay every day. Tell Jay you need the money.
Yeah, and I do remember specifically that after, how you said that, Eugene and Jake conspired together to, raise their prices on you and shit. That 1,000% that happened. I know that for a fact.
I know that shit happened, man, because he said on the phone with my attorney, Eugene even mentioned to me that he asked Jay, are you sure? He said, I don't really feel like this is ethical. He said it to me.
Damn.
Again, I like to come with facts. Well, I wouldn't say facts. I would like to come with receipts of what's happening right now. These are Tony the Closer's allegations, so I can't say that they're facts. I have to legally protect myself. What we do know for a fact is that Roderick Standback is on the LLC. What we do know is that Tony the Closer, that's the guy who's speaking to the employee. We know that Tony the Closer and Jay Morrison were together, right? We can see that right now, right? So now we have the former business partner saying that he's not that good in business, that he didn't really know what he was talking about when it came to real estate, that he had to fund the business. We have an ex-employee coming out now and saying that things were unorganized and disorganized inside of the fund and that he was pimping the culture. And then now we have this picture right here. This is Tony the Closer. Right? Now, Tony's story is very similar, right? Like, all of these stories are similar. Tony's alleging that him and Jay Morrison was supposed to do a $100,000 giveaway and that they were both going to put up $50,000 each. Well, Tony puts up his 50 allegedly. And because I spoke to Tony for well over an hour about, and he seemed very genuine in what he was saying, right? He's alleging that he was paying for the operating expenses out of his pocket. And he gave the Stripe account to Jay Morrison because he looked up to Jay Morrison. Notice that the employee said the same thing, that Jay Morrison has a way with words. Notice that Roderick Stanback said the same thing, that people buy into this idea of, black empowerment, and they take you at your word when you tell them that. So Tony's taking him at his word, and Jay Morrison's promising him, allegedly, that all of these celebrities are going to show up to the event. I'm going to have B. Simone show up, and I'm going to have DC Young Fly. So Tony the Closer, trying to, be like a Jay Morrison, trying to be like Jay Morrison and looking up to Jay Morrison, he takes his word for it. Well, Jay Morrison has access to the Stripe account, but he's not releasing none of the money from the Stripe account to pay for any of the event expenses. So now Tony the Closer's face is on everything. His name is on everything. His branding's on everything. He's having to come out of pocket and pay for things that the money from the ticket sales should be covering. Oh, it gets better. Gets better here. Tony the Closer said that he paid both Jay and Jay's wife to be speakers. He paid them over $3,400 allegedly. Well, they didn't speak at the event. They backed out of the event at the last 2 weeks. Do you think that him and his wife gave back the $3,400? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. So that's unethical business. Why wouldn't you give back the money? Now, I know what some of you are saying. Well, where's the receipts at? Here's the receipts right here. These are the receipts on Tony the Closer's page. It says, "Peace King, I tried your phone this morning, but wasn't able to connect. So I'm reaching out via email to formally terminate our participation in the Vegas 100K Club conference. There are some differences in our business postures and practices that offer too much exposure and risk to our organization, and at this early level in our relationship, we can't be involved to the capacity we had hoped. We are willing to support you in every way we can to transition successfully, respectfully, and without embarrassment to each other's brands or too much disappointment to our audiences. We are happy for our digital team to transfer any data or funnel collateral over to you that can be helpful in any strategy or information from Eugene, EJ, and our events team that could lead to your success. We want you to win." So this is what Jay Morrison allegedly sent to Tony the Closer to terminate their contract that they had, or their event that they had, or their agreement 2 weeks before the event. Now, these are text messages right here, allegedly, that Tony the Closer put up between him and Jay Morrison, right? This is supposed to be right here. And it says, "Peace King, I need to get the money handled today. Has the team put this on motion?" So this in blue, I'm assuming is Tony the Closer. And this right here in gray, I'm assuming is Jay Morrison. "Peace, I'm following up now. Here was message as of yesterday. Worst case, I'll have Denisha release $20K until it's rectified." So if you didn't owe him, why would you be talking about releasing money? So clearly, obviously, if this is Jay Morrison in these text messages, he had the guy's funds that he's talking about releasing to him. So this is, at a certain point, you have to say to yourself, this is common sense here, right? It says, King, we need to talk. We need this money now. Gene hitting me up, needing money. We got to have a better structure and follow up. I sent over $100K last week. There's money sitting in limbo, and I'm the only one paying expenses, so it needs to happen much better. And again, forgive the broken English, but that's, the way he, typed it out. But so the blue is clearly, Tony the closer, he's clearly saying he's paid over $100K. And then this is Jay Morrison responding. Agreed. I'm not holding up. I'm trying to get some damn data and info so we can move. I'm going to send you this message from yesterday and follow up with John now. Look at the dates. Just follow the dates of the message. This is October 22nd. Now this is October 23rd. This is what Tony's saying. I've never gave you nothing but 100% trust. Jay goes, same, King. Hit you later. What's up, Jay? I need an update on funds. We over a week with no resolution. Got you, King. Thought John sent you the reconciliation. Pretty cut and dry. I'll get it over to you in funds with your approval. Jay, how are you expecting a split after backing out and issuing refunds? You don't get to split. Release the funds, bro. This is beyond messy. Let's meet while you're here. So this is him texting Jay, and Jay's not responding. Now notice he keeps using the word King. Didn't Brother Polite do that with the other brother that I did a video about? King. Same thing with Crypto Roots. There's a pattern here. Now again, this is not me saying this. This is Tony the Closer saying this. These are his text messages. But there's a pattern of behavior here. The former business partner that's on the LLC is saying the same thing. And thank you guys for the donations that I see coming through. Appreciate it. But I'm going to keep focusing on the stream. I'll try to get to the donations as I go over it. But there's a pattern of behavior here. And he is about to come out of his mouth and say he doesn't know what he's doing. But he has $12 million of your money. I'll play it for you.
Shh. Be bad.
Dude, yo, here's the thing. Transparency.
Here's the thing. Transparency, right? Listen.
Nobody knew what the hell they were doing.
Heard that? Nobody knew what the hell they were doing. Who just told you out of his mouth he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Nobody knew what the hell they were doing.
Here's the thing. Transparency, right? Listen.
Nobody knew what the hell they were doing.
Heard that? Nobody knew what the hell they were doing. Who just...
So, he's saying out of his mouth, no one knew what they were doing. His former he's still part of the business. He's on the document still. His business partner is saying he didn't know what he was doing. His business partner said that he was putting everything together. We're about to finish listening to the employee. The employee is saying that he was putting everything together for the funnel. And I like to use this to teach. There's 24 hours in a day. You have to sleep 8 of them. How can you be a husband, a father, a fund manager, a political activist, run a political party, be a social justice warrior, also teach corner classes? How can one man do all of that? How can one man do all of that? And see, this is why the Tulsa Real Estate Fund is underperforming, because he's spending more time focusing on marketing and branding than he is focusing on running the goddamn fund. See, Mr. Swaggy, Richie Rich, what he should be doing is he should be out here evaluating real estate deals. What Mr. Swaggy, Richie Rich should be doing is going over here and figuring out how to get a better team, how to get an executive team, how to really hire people that are qualified. It's what Mr. Richie Rich Swaggy should be doing. But the reason why Mr. Swaggy Richie Rich is underperforming because it's not his money at risk. He has no skin in the game. Because see, guess what? Whether you get a return or not, he's still going to get his paycheck. He's still on salary. His wife is still going to get paid. So he doesn't give a damn. And many of you are so damn gullible and so damn stupid that you fall for a guy in a suit. You'll fall for a guy driving a nice car. Soon as I see this, I know it's a scam. I know, as soon as I see this, I know that this program is bullshit. It does not take all of this to sell a product or service. If you have to see me in a suit, if you have to see me driving a nice car, if you have to see me in a mansion to buy my product, you have no business being an entrepreneur. You have no business being an entrepreneur. And yes, I'm a plug my business because when you come to my website, you don't see a goddamn. Do you see a nice car? Do you see a half naked woman? Woman? Do you see a half naked woman? Do you see me driving a nice car talking about you're going to get rich like me? Do you see any celebrities on here? Do you see me posting? Do you see me marketing with the Shade Room? If your business is about real estate, why the hell are you marketing on the Shade Room? Why would you market? Do you see any hedge funds marketing on the Shade Room? Do you see the Carlyle Group marketing on the Shade Room? Do you see SAC Capital marketing on the Shade Room? Do you see any legitimate fund or any legitimate fund manager marketing his products on the goddamn Shade Room? It's a gossip blog. Use your brain, man. The hell you going to market a business on the Shade Room for? A real estate fund business. That doesn't make any sense. I should have told you right there that it was garbage from right there. You think you'll see Bill Ackman on the Shade Room? You think you'll see Carl Icahn marketing on the Shade Room? It's a damn gossip blog for celebrities. But see, he purposely goes after these places because he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And that's what makes it unethical because he knows better. And he knows he's going after vulnerable people who doesn't have any business investing. Now let's listen to what Vlad had to say. Because this is very telling too, right here. Let's listen to what Vlad had to say.
$1 million in the bank after taxes.
Yeah.
Is there any story in your career that you regret putting up?
I think that there's certain people that I interviewed that ultimately ended up being somewhat fraudish and ended up kind of taking advantage of people. And I feel that being on my platform and how big it is, it almost helped with the scamming in a certain type of way. And I'm not going to put any names out there, but those are the type of interviews that I kind of regret. It's like, when I find out more about that person's character after the fact, I kind of regret giving them a platform. All right, here we go. Jay Morrison, how did you make your first $1 million?
All through real estate. So I did a kind of a diverse mix of kind of everything in the real estate industry my first 3 years, and that's when I see my first $1 million.
Okay, so after 3 years, you saw $1 million in the bank after taxes.
Yeah.
Is there any story in your career that you regret putting up?
I think that there's certain people that I interviewed that ultimately ended up being somewhat fraudish and ended up kind of taking advantage of people. And I feel that being on my platform and how big it is, it almost helped with the scamming in a certain type of way. And I'm not going to put any names out there, but those are the type of interviews that I kind of regret. It's like, when I find out more about that person's character after the fact, I kind of regret giving them a platform.
It's so comical now, right? This is comical because, again, what did I say to you? Notice that these individuals, they all go on Vlad. They all go on the Breakfast Club. They all go on Earn Your Leisure. It's a pattern here because they're trying to go after that urban demographic of people. They're going after poor people who are not going to take the time out to really educate themselves as to what they're buying, what they're investing in. And this is problematic for our culture. Now, I'm going to play something for you. I'm going to play something else for you just to let you hear the lack of, journalism and professionalism that the Breakfast Club displays all the time. So let's listen to it.
Buildings,
it's
hotels.
A place to crash.
Yeah, we building wealth in pop culture. That's what I'm about.
Now, let me tell you what I like about Jay is the fact that he's really a thug, but now he's a realtor. So
I wouldn't say the word thug, Ange.
Well, I mean,
you say thug now.
He was a drug
I'm
trafficker.
Positively not going to deal with him now. So change the word thug.
Well, he used to traffic drugs and everything.
Oh shit! I have a.
Do you hear what she said? This is I rock with her because I rock with him because he's a thug. Now he's a realtor. But these people are going to talk to you. They have the ear of our people. I want you to understand that. They have. So just think about the lack of journalism and professionalism. Do you really think that they're sitting here and actually doing any background research and their due diligence on who they're interviewing? Do you think that they take the time out to read a prospectus, to read the SEC report? Do you think that they're going to go here to the Division of Revenue and Enterprise Services? Do you think that they're going to take the time out to do the necessary legwork to find out who is Roderick Stanback? But they have millions of people that views their channels, that views their videos on YouTube, that listens to their radio station, that turns it into revolt, right? And it's so you have to understand that you're fighting against a machine. That event, that revolt event that they had when him and T.I. was speaking, that was scripted. That was scripted for him to get up there and speak about going to the World Court and having a plebiscite and healing our people and all that. That was scripted. That was scripted. And people fell for that. They purposely brought Candace Owens there to create that energy that they're standing up for their people and they're fighting against Donald Trump's #1 supporter. That was designed to trick you. That's tricknology. How can you talk about liberation when you're talking about opportunity zones, knowing that opportunity zones is a way for the wealthy to come in and use government to rape, rob, and pillage? At a certain point, you have to think, man. You have to think. You have to think about what's going on. You have to be smart enough to see through the games, the gimmicks, and the schemes. And I want to play the rest of what she said because this is important. This part is really, really important.
Time felon.
Past. Bruce
I
history.
said we all do, man. Everybody got a past, man. Malcolm X was Malcolm Little before he was Malcolm X.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Drugs and everything.
I'm typically not going to deal with him now, so change the word.
He's really a thug, but now he's
Making a rental property.
not rented out.
No,
But
I got that. Apartment buildings,
it's a
hotels.
place to crash.
Yeah, we building wealth and pop culture. That's what I'm about.
Now, let me tell you what I like about Jay is the fact that he's really a thug, but now he's a realtor. You know,
I mean,
so
I wouldn't say the word thug, Ange.
well, I mean,
Oh, you say thug now.
he was a drug
I'm
trafficker.
absolutely positively not going to deal with him now, so change the word thug.
Well, he used to traffic drugs and everything.
Oh,
And
shit.
I have a
Three-time
bruised
felon.
past. A bruised
I
history.
said we all do, man. Everybody got a past, man. Malcolm X was Malcolm Little before he was Malcolm X.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's the spot I'm coming for. I'm coming for that Martin and Malcolm spot. I'm trying to build the culture up.
But I do appreciate Jay because I learned a lot about real estate that
I want to comment on that last part because I get a lot of people who they come on my videos and they say, why are you hating on a black man? And, Jay's inspiring. Understand, we all have a past. I'm not perfect. You think that I'm sitting here and I'm speaking from some ivory tower? You don't come from the communities that we come from unscathed, unblemished. We all have a blemish. We all have a past. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. When Malcolm X was red, he was red. But when he cleaned himself up and he became Malcolm, he lived the words that he was preaching to the people. He lived in those words, which is why he has so much problems with Elijah Muhammad and what was being done with the young girls, allegedly. When you decide to take that walk, you have to live it. You can't just preach it. I'm not sitting up here telling you that I'm going to condemn you for what you've done in your past, for the things you've been through. I get that. You come from the hood. You're not making it through the hood unscathed. But goddamn it, you're presenting yourself as young Malcolm. You're going into these communities with poor people and you're trying to do a damn infomercial and telling them that they have to buy your product today, allegedly, for $4.97. If they don't do it, then it's over. They don't get the deal. At a certain point, man, you have to hold people accountable for today. And I'm not going to sit up here and say, well, because he's my brother or because he's black or because of racism and white supremacy, that I can't critique him and call him out for his unethical marketing, for his unethical ways of doing business. All skin folk is not kinfolk. This is the black, when you understand that he's a black man too. See, people keep talking about, oh, well, why you critiquing a black man? What about the victim, allegedly? Is Tony the Closer not a black man? Does this black man not have a family? This black man's out of $100,000. What does this black man's family not matter? We all talking about Black Lives Matter, right? Does his black life matter? Does his kids' black lives matter? Does his wife black life matter? Man, some of you have a lot of growing up to do, man. I swear to you, man, some of you have a lot of growing up to do. I told you guys a story the other day. I had a few people, they wanted a refund. I processed it. Take your money, go. I'm not holding you hostage. Go, bye. Take your money. That's how you conduct business. Have some ethics, have some principles. It can't all be about $1. But see, when it's all about swaggy and rich, and you're living a fake rich lifestyle and you're not really balling like you claim you balling, and you're selling the image of success, you need every dollar you have because you're living above your means. you're presenting an image that you really can't afford. Because you're trying to present something that you're not. You're not a celebrity. You're not a celebrity real estate mogul. You're a failure. And the Tulsa Real Estate Fund is a failure. Because you don't know what you're doing, because you're not qualified to do it.
Like, he told me the shit.
Yeah, no, man. I don't remember all the details of it because it's been so fucking long, but it's a fucking mess, man. What have you thought about, like, I noticed that you posted, like, somebody was mentioning about getting, like, all the trap investors to go down. Are you considering doing that?
I am.
I think you should do it, man, because none of these people are going to see their money back, 100%. So, like, all their real estate, and one of the reasons they're never going to see their money back is because when you have a real estate fund, you got to have people in these executive positions who really know what the fuck they're doing, like a chief real estate officer and all these people. And Jay's executive team cycles every fucking couple weeks, like literally, man, like every few weeks, every few months, like his executive team is cycling out. I saw so many people come and go when I was there that it was insane. See, you're doing good though, bro. I sent you that message, man. I just want to connect with you and just let you know, man, that on my end, I apologize for having to be in the middle of that shit. And
bro, I'm talking about like cutting off my fucking domains, like literal sabotage.
Yep. No, I feel you, man.
So from your perspective, was that you that cut off the domain? Was that Jay that cut off the domain? What was that?
I mean, I cut the domain off, but I was instructed to cut the domain off.
What else happened behind the scenes with all this shit that I didn't know about that you remember?
Let me think. I know DJ played a big part in it.
Yeah, Cairo A. Isn't it funny that this is the white guy talking, right? This is Mr. Pro Blackity Black. This is Mr. Hotep Back to Africa, Red, Black, and Green, B1. Yet he's hiring white people. Right? Isn't it funny? Isn't it so funny? These people, they talk about the culture. They talk about the culture. See, I don't have to live to that standard because I don't preach that. But they talk about, we just got to do it for the culture. But then the people filming their documentaries are all white. Now you have this white guy working for Jay Morrison. He was doing the marketing. Look at Dame Dash. Mr. We got to do it for the culture. It's all for our people. Yet every time you watch his videos and stuff, you see nothing but a bunch of white people around him. It's a game, man. This is a gimmick. And at a certain point, we have to grow up and evolve as people, man. And we have to stop letting people bamboozle us with shiny objects.
I think ever since she went to that, she said that she sat down with you for like breakfast or brunch or lunch or something.
Yeah.
At one point, and she said like after that she just didn't have good vibes and really wanted Jay to pull away. So I know that she was like heavily involved in the whole thing. And so like, and I remember she was telling me like, and she was going around to all the employees too, because she came to me and, was basically telling me like how she was feeling and all this other stuff and kind of just spreading word throughout the company. And she didn't feel like Jay should be doing this. And that was way prior to you guys actually splitting. I mean, outside of all that, man, I really don't know. Like, Jay kind of keeps all his shit to himself, man.
Keith Reynolds, you just said give black business a chance. Let me say something before I finish playing this interview. I sit on here, I talk to you guys about investing in gold and silver and cryptocurrency all day long. If we allow people like Jay Morrison and Polite to exist, then black people won't trust a person like me, who's honest, who's trying to be as ethical as can possibly be. See, if people lose hope when they trust in a black person, they trust in a black man, and they put their money into a black business, and a black man treats them like this. So when you say just give black, you can't, I'm not just doing business with you because you're black. You have to show me why you deserve my dollar. Because see, someone like me comes around, I get called a bussy warrior. I have people call me moist. I have people call me a coon. I have people calling me an agent. I have people releasing my address. I have people photoshopping my pictures, putting them up on gay websites. I have people doing all kind of crazy stuff to me because I get up on here and I speak about things that I see. And I come up here and I promote things and tell you guys about things that are good for you, that can actually help you out. I have people spamming my emails all day long. All day long, I deal with this. And then this fool who doesn't know what he's doing, who doesn't read. I spend 5 to 6 hours a day reading reports, reading blogs, reading books, taking courses to educate myself so that when I sit up here and I speak to you guys, I know what the hell I'm speaking about. And I get a $20 donation and people call me a fraud. They call me a scammer. Yet this man can get $12 million from you. $12 million. $12 million. Look at this. Sent him almost $10K that I got when my pops passed from his bullshit ass fund. And the crazy part about it is he had females promoting it to other guys to help bring in more investors. I've been blocked ever since I told him about himself in the comments. This man got $10,000 when his dad died and he invested in the Tulsa Real Estate Fund and he can't get it back. And it's locked in the fund. So you damn right I'm going to feel a certain type of way when I see stuff like that. You know why? Because that $10,000 could have been invested somewhere else better. That could have made him some money. He could have sat up here and listened to me and purchased and bought some Ethereum and bought some Bitcoin and did something with that $10,000. He could have went and took a course on Udacity or Udemy and learned about programming or blockchain technology or cryptography from a person that's qualified and did something with his goddamn self instead of wasting $10,000 so he could be swaggy and he could be rich. I'm not saying don't defend. I'm not saying not to support black business, but goddamn it, they gotta earn your business. So many things that this young man could have done with his money, and instead now his money's locked up in the middle of a pandemic. People can't pay their bills. So you damn right I'm salty. You damn right I'm upset. I have every right to be upset because there's a businessman out here right now. There's a black man that has a dream right now who's ethical, who's probably out here who wants to start a real estate fund. And no one's going to trust him and no one's going to believe in him because of frauds like this. We already don't trust people. And I'm sick of people trusting somebody just because they have a nice car. Or because they know a celebrity. Because like Tony the Closer was telling me over the phone, Jay Morrison promised that he was going to bring this allegedly and bring this celebrity and bring that celebrity. But when Tony the Closer started tracking the ticket sales, most of the ticket sales was coming from Tony's people and Tony's marketing. Most of the tickets that was sold for the event was coming because of Tony's marketing. And all of Jay Morrison's connections and all of the people that he knew and all of the things that he had wasn't selling any tickets, which is why he backed out. Allegedly. But see, if you listen to the business partner, Roderick, he was saying that he actually was doing real estate. He just didn't know how to speak like he didn't know how to articulate himself the way that Jay could. Tony told me the same thing. See, these big fish, what they do is they go find these up and coming people and they try to tap into their audience because see what happens is, let me teach you how the scheme works. They burn through their audience. They burn through their following and then they block them. So they constantly have to go find fresh meat, which is why they go find these up and coming people in the real estate wholesaling game or in the flipping game so that they can then tap into your new market. This is why they go on a Breakfast Club and do an interview, because they get exposed to a whole new base of people who don't know about all of these schemes and scams. When Umar Johnson goes on a Breakfast Club, they don't know that he's been raising money for the school for 10 years. They don't know that. They don't know that he went on a Breakfast Club and he said that they were tax exempt and that he needed a donation from Puff and Jay back in 2016, 2017, but then turns around and in 2019 says he didn't know that he didn't have tax exempt status. They don't know about that because people, they're new, they're fresh meat. They don't know any better. Those people that's purchasing Polite's options course right now, they don't know about crypto roots. They don't know about the status corrections. They don't know about that. What happened to all of the status corrections? What happened to the UCC or the BCC from the ACC to the DCC? What happened to that? Come on, man. This foolish. What happened to the 8 streams of income? What happened to the 8 streams of income? What happened to that? And now watch, crypto's on fire. I guarantee you next week, everyone's going to be a crypto expert. Everyone's going to be selling a crypto course next. Watch. Guarantee it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even the people that work for him don't really know what he's got going on. He stays very, very private. That's about all I remember was he did like a company call, said that we were pulling out the event. This was a day or two after like the last time we talked, or like we went through the Stripe account with the advertisers or something. I don't remember 100%. But after that, basically, we turned the domain off. We're told to cease contact with you. And then that was it. I really never heard anything else outside of that.
You know he's never released the funds from the event, right?
At all? Like none of them?
He's never released a single dollar to me since the event.
Not even like the amount that they said?
Bro, he's never released $1.
I didn't know that. I thought they at least gave you what they put down on that reconciliation.
They haven't sent me a fucking dollar. It has been zero attempts to make right by me with the money. I'm talking about even the money I paid them as speakers. They didn't
even get that back?
No.
That's crazy, bro. And, like, I know that they've got to be hurting, bro. Like, they've got to be hurting. Like, I don't know what their financial standpoint is personally, but I know from a business perspective that the fund wasn't doing too great. I know the Legacy Center wasn't doing too great. Jay Morrison Academy was doing okay, but it was, like, so up and down. And one of the biggest reasons was that Jay was trying to run everything. Like, he was trying to dictate every single thing. Like, he was trying to tell me how to set up nurture sequences and shit when he don't have a clue how that stuff is even set up. And so, like, he would cycle through so many people, or he would, the organizational chart, the hierarchy of the organization, he would restructure that like every week or 2 fucking weeks. And no one could ever get work done because no one knew their role. No one knew their responsibilities. Literally, everyone in the company just kind of sat and waited for Jay to tell them what to do. And so I think, like, you know, he had like high staff costs. And he was just like bleeding fucking money because he's inefficient. Like, he doesn't know how to run an organization. And so, like, he was just bleeding this money out of the organization. And I don't know what their financial situation is, but
when you were there,
I don't think it's great.
When you were there, like, how much money were you guys making just from the course side? Like,
do you understand? He said that they're bleeding money. This is an employee. This is an ex-employee, allegedly. This is an ex-employee, and he's saying that the fund is bleeding money. And we know that the fund is bleeding money because we can come here to the SEC documentation and we can see the operating losses. We can see that. So we know that they're bleeding money. And we know that he doesn't know what he's doing. So when he says that he's going to take legal action, when I get off this live stream, I am going to go sit down with my attorney. I am preparing for you to take legal action against me. I take all threats serious. I am preparing for you to take legal action. Because when we go through legal action, this will all come out in discovery. I've been sued before. So you want to take legal action, I will be prepared. Because everything that I've stated, I can verify the things that I'm stating. In the SEC document, I can verify that your business partner who's a part of the LLC is saying that you don't know what you're doing. I can verify that you've said out of your mouth, you've made the statement out of your mouth that you don't know what you're doing. I don't come on here. I don't slander people. I don't get into your personal life. I don't care about who you're dating. I don't care about what your sexual orientation is. I don't care about what you like to, if you're cheating on your girlfriend or your wife. I don't care about none of that. When I speak on this channel, I speak about the business. I speak about the information. I speak about the SEC document. I've never disrespected your wife. That's why I made the video about young Pharaoh talking about him. What young Pharaoh did to his wife was disgusting, and it was disrespectful. Notice you don't ever hear me come on here and disrespect someone's wife or disrespect their children. I don't speak like that. I don't do that. I deal in the information. The fund is losing money, and you don't know what you're doing, per your words. Your ex-girlfriend said you don't know what you don't know about real estate. Roderick Standback is saying that you don't know. Your ex-employee is saying you don't know, and you said you don't know. So at what point do we get to the point where you just don't know? So if you don't know, give the people back their money. See, let me tell you something. Let me give you some more game. There's a difference between bad business and a business deal going wrong. Sometimes things just go wrong. In business, you can't win them all. Sometimes you lose money. You lose money. It happens. I remember I purchased the cryptocurrency Substratum. It's a bad investment. I lost money. Sometimes you buy a house. It could be a lemon. You buy a car. It could be. It's a bad investment. It happens to the best of us. But there's a difference between losing money because it just was a bad deal versus doing bad business. See, I'm okay with losing money if the deal it's a bad deal. I'm okay with that. It's a sport. Business is a contact sport. You win some, you lose some. You learn business by doing business. But then you're doing bad business. See, that's a problem when you're doing bad business. Big difference. Big difference. So let's finish this up.
JMA Academy monthly.
Oh shit, monthly? I mean, anywhere between 200 to 400,000, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Was that prior to you joining, or was that when you joined in?
So, oh shit, monthly? I mean, anywhere between. I think it's great.
When you were there, like, how much money were you guys making just from the course side, like the JMA Academy monthly?
Oh shit, monthly? I mean, anywhere between 200 to 400,000, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Was that prior to you joining, or was that when you joined in?
So when I took over in November and was actually given like leadership, I was then kind of privy to all the information. Before that, I think they were doing like 100 or something per month. Once I stepped up, I think it was October when you and Jay linked up. I had a feeling that 100K Club conference wasn't going to happen. I'm just being real with you. Because of all the stuff that was going on with EJ, all the stuff that was going on with Jay, like I know they were back and forth on it and everything else, because we had diverted a lot of our marketing efforts to the 100K Club conference. And so what I did, because I had a feeling it wasn't going to work out, was I went and I hired like 6 or 7 salespeople to start calling like on all of our contacts and stuff like that, kind of just pick up sales. So that way our digital sales wouldn't take too much of a dip for the month and like we couldn't cover payroll or some shit, or have to dip into savings and cover payroll. So I did that, and they came in and did really good and helped us sustain for October. I think we did like 200 and something. And then in November, we launched our Black Friday campaign. And that was like the first campaign I actually got to launch that that Jay gave me full control over. And then that was the month like that we had our best month since I had been with him. And then moving into December, we had one of our best months. Moving into January, I created the New Year, New Legacy campaign, that funnel. And they still have that funnel running because all the other funnels they try to create, I don't know if they're not working for them or what, but they're still using the shit that I built for them to make money. And I had to fight Jay every fucking month for my bonus check. And I was supposed to be getting a bonus from like day one when I came into the company. And I didn't see a bonus check until I was like 6 or 7 months in. And I walked away from the agency I was running, the clients that I had, and all this other shit because Jay sold me this fucking dream of working with him and how much potential that was there. And I mean, there is a lot of potential there. Like, you know, he has a massive following, like all that stuff, but you can't work with him. Like, if he ever wants to succeed, the best thing he could do is step down and put someone in place to run his company, and he just stays the fuck out of it. But that'll never happen. So what did he tell you is the reason he was backing out?
He had told me some shit like you and Damien basically said I had disrespected you guys and talked to y'all.
So I'm going to leave that there. But you heard he said that he would be better off removing himself from the company and just focusing on like the marketing or the branding or being the face and letting other people run the fund. But his ego won't allow him to do that. Notice that that's the same thing that Roderick said. There's a pattern here. So you can say I'm clout chasing. You can say I'm hating, I'm jealous. People losing money. Now, Tony the Closer is on 8/20/20. Let's go here to his page. He is creating this thing right here. No refunds, no peace. Mr. Jay Morrison, 8/20 Black House Takeover. I don't know how serious he is about this. I spoke to him on the phone. He seems like he's serious. He seems like he wants to go through with this. He wants to go down there with some TREF investors, Tulsa Real Estate Fund investors, and he wants to try to go there and help people try to get back their money. I think that's a good idea. If this is serious, I will definitely show up. I believe that there needs to be more transparency as far as to, you know, how can people get their money back and when can people get their money back? So I support that. I think if you're in Atlanta or in the area in Atlanta, that you should definitely go down there if it happens and find out what's going on and be in front of that Black House because this isn't right. It isn't right. And it's unethical what's going on. But, you know, legally, he can lock up the funds. You know, legally he can do this. And that just goes to, you know, Tone did an amazing job. Tone did an amazing job of breaking this down as to why it wasn't a good idea, why it wasn't a good investment. And, you know, people didn't want to listen to him at first. And that's the reality. You know, it's you can't deny this anymore. This is problematic. The fact that he could have taken care of this behind the scenes with Tony the Closer. And all of this wouldn't even existed if he just would have paid the guy back. Tony told me on the phone he was willing to take $5,000 here, $10,000 here. He didn't have to give him back the whole $50K or $100K. And this is what Tony's saying. So I've never slandered his wife. I've never slandered him. These are everything that I've spoken about in these videos are either other people's experiences or documentation that I can pull up. You know, when you look at this image, it says this power couple is set on purchasing and developing an entire town. This is marketing. This is implying that you are going to go and fix up an entire town. So invest in this. And naming it Tulsa, meaning that you're standing on the backs of our ancestors. And for those of you who do not know what happened in Tulsa, let me just read this for you. It says the Tulsa Race Massacre. The Tulsa Race Riot, also known as the Tulsa Race Massacre, the Greenwood Massacre, or the Black Wall Street Massacre, took place on May 31st and June 1st, 1921, when mobs of white residents, many of them deputized and given weapons by city officials, attacked black residents and businesses of the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It has been called the single worst incident of racial violence in American history. The attack, carried out on the ground and from private aircraft, destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the district. At the time, the wealthiest black community in the United States, known as Black Wall Street. More than 800 people were admitted to hospitals, and as many as 6,000 black residents were interned in large facilities, many of them for several days. The Oklahoma Bureau of Vital Statistics recorded 36 dead. The massacre began during the Memorial Day weekend after 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting Sarah Page, the 17-year-old white elevator operator of the nearby Drexel building. He was taken into custody after the arrest. Rumors spread through the city that Dick Rowland was to be lynched. Upon hearing reports that a mob of hundreds of white men had gathered around the jail where Dick Rowland was being kept, a group of 75 black men, some of whom were armed, arrived at the jail with the intention of helping to ensure Dick Rowland would not be lynched. The sheriff persuaded the group of black men to leave the jail, assuring them he had the situation under control. As the group of black men were leaving the premises complying with the sheriff's request, a member of the mob of white men attempted to disarm one of the black men. A shot was fired, and then, according to reports of the sheriff, all hell broke loose. This is real pain and trauma throughout our history. We've tried to build our own. We've tried to get our own, and it was always stolen from us through force or through legal contracts. So much of our land was burned down and just straight up stolen from us. And then you have this man coming here telling you that this power couple is set on purchasing and developing an entire town, invoking Tulsa, somehow telling you that he's going to recreate Black Wall Street. This is disgusting. At a certain point, man, you have to call it for what it is, man. It's not right and it's not fair. When I sit up here and I talk to you guys about crypto and I talk to you guys about, technology and stuff, I never sit up here and tell you that I can fix Black Wall Street. I cannot rebuild Black Wall Street. I cannot solve white supremacy. I cannot fix and solve racism. I can't stop police brutality. You joining my tech academy is not going to fix the water in Flint, Michigan, or Denmark, South Carolina. You joining my tech academy will not fix the school to prison pipeline. And anyone telling you that their little academy or their website is going to do that, they're lying to you. And at a certain point, you have to hold up individual accountable. It's been 2 years. This man was positioned as an authority. He sold himself as knowing what he was doing. No, Pharaoh slandered him. It does matter, I am gold. It does matter. Young Pharaoh accused him of pocketing $1.3 million. And if you can find if right now, I will pay you. If someone can come on here and show me the same way I'm showing you with proof that Jay Morrison pocketed $1.3 million, I'll send you $500. I'll PayPal it or I'll Cash App it to you. I will PayPal you or Cash App you if you can show me with documentation, with verifiable proof that he pocketed $1.3 million. Because, see, everything's in the documents. So we know that that's a lie. And this is why it's important to use your words correctly when you're speaking and you have a platform. When you have a platform and you are speaking to thousands of people, it is important that you do your best to convey the message in an articulate manner and not disparage and disrespect someone's wife, especially when you call a black woman God. It's important that when you have a platform that you are, especially when you're as dirty as Jay, you don't need to slander him. So I'm going to wrap this up this way because we're coming up on an hour and 40 minutes. I was going to back away from this. But when someone sent me this, where he's talking about taking legal action, right? He said, accordingly to our attackers and accusers, you are now on official legal notice that we will see you and deal with you in real court. I hope to see you in real life. I hope to see you in real life. If this threat is towards me, because he blocked me on Instagram, so I can't see it on my Instagram. This was sent to me. I hope to see you in real life, because everything that I'm stating is either someone else's experience or out of your own mouth. You made the claim that you don't know what you're doing. It's been 2 years and you haven't returned a profit. You're the one who said that redemptions, you're no longer honoring redemptions for this year. You said that, not me. You said that you were swaggy, richy rich. And then it's coming out that you're, owing people money, doing bad business. They have text messages, conversations. Ex-employees are coming out now. Ex-girlfriends are coming out now. Tref investors are coming out now. Ex-business partners are coming out now. I was able to go over here and start pulling up the information. You can go up here and do your own research as well. False Prophets has a ton. False Prophets sent me some of this information as well. You can go up here and pull up the report. Go and do your due diligence, man, before you invest money. It's a big difference. And I'll leave it like this. You see a person doing this, posing with rappers, posing in front of cars, posing with a bunch of women. They're trying to get into your pocket. So I saw some donations come through. Let's see where they're at. See if I can still see them. And thank you guys for those of you who support the content. Umar dissed Beyonce's blonde weave, then begs her husband for a check out the same mouth. Of course, humble Kurt. I don't understand why people have to try to sell themselves so hard. That's why I said whenever I see these, Pan-African, Hotep, Red, Black, and Green, B1 brothers and sisters, it's an act. They try too hard. Like, they try to sell their blackness too much. You're telling people that you are, abstinent and you're not having sex with anyone, and she has to be 5'5", thick in the thighs and happy to be nappy, but then you're having sex with a conscious stripper and she has a blonde weave, just, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, you see these things and you say it's so hypocritical. He talks about Byron Allen's wife and, he doesn't even have a wife. Like, it's crazy how a man can talk to you about marriage and who you should be marrying. And this is a man who's in his mid-40s and he's not married yet. And he's created 2 single baby mamas. It's just like, it's laughable. That's like me sitting up here talking to you about crypto all day long and I don't own any crypto. Like, you would, like, that would be so backwards, right? If I told you guys about, like, buy crypto. but I don't own any crypto, right? You would laugh at me. Humble Kurt, thank you for the donation again. Says I appreciate the work, fam. Thank you so much. Keith Reynolds says I was not defending Jay. I was being critical of Jay talking Black Power and then having nothing but white people in their organization. Jay stole from me, brother. I am no friend of his. Okay, well, I stand corrected. I apologize. I thought you were saying we have to support Black business. No, we have to support people who do things ethically. I can't see the earlier donations, but thank you those of you who donated, right? At a certain point, man, honesty, integrity matters. Honesty and integrity matters. And as long as I have my platform, I'm going to give a voice to the voiceless. This young man right here who received, $10,000 from his dad when his dad passed away, he doesn't have a voice. I have a platform. I have 17,000 people following me. This is what the Breakfast Club should be doing. The Breakfast Club should be trying to figure out where are people's donations at for the, Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School. The Breakfast Club should be trying to find out what's going on with Jay. But also, at the end of the day, you as an adult, you have to hold yourself accountable. Thank you for the donation, Cairo. At the end of the day, you have to hold yourself accountable too. If you're poor, you have no business investing in businesses, man. I have no thoughts on NFAC or Grandmaster Jay. I don't follow a lot of that that pro-Black stuff like that. I've been really, really busy with my academy and getting everything up and running over there, so I haven't had a chance to. I believe though that Tariq called him an agent or something like that. I mean, guys call me an agent all the time. I told you they called me a bussy warrior, a moist, a coon, a self-hating Black man, and Uncle Tom. I have the white man's D in my mouth. I get attacked all the time. Like I said, they take my business emails and they enter them into gay porn sites and all kind of crazy stuff. I have people doing photoshopping my pictures. That's what people do. Because a lot of people in our community are truly sick and disturbed, man. And we come from so much trauma that we normalize it. So it's normal to get over on your people. The Riddler, Eli, can you please do a stream on credit cycling? If I get a chance to, honestly, I've been so busy, man, with the academy stuff and really focusing on crypto. But if I ever get a chance, I promise you I'll get to it, the Riddler. I'll definitely keep it in mind. A Polkadot of XRP Pioneer 504. A Polkadot's going to be an amazing project. A lot of you need to be paying attention to that PolkaSwap and the DEX that's getting ready to launch, the decentralized exchange PolkaSwap. Everything that Ethereum 2.0 is trying to become, Polkadot's going to be at launch with the technology. You guys really, that's going to be a powerful project. It's hard to invest in the project because it's not available to United States residents, U.S. residents. But if you get a VPN, you can get back into the next token sale that they have. I'll pull it up for you guys right now. Give me a second. This project's going to be a powerful project. You know me, I don't like to promote garbage, but this is going to be big. I'm going to pull up the link for you guys. But you'll have to buy this. This is not for U.S. residents, so you're going to have to, work some magic to get into it. Hold on. Kevin Wood. This is a really, really big project right here. He helped create Ethereum. Him, Charles Hoskinson. I always say his name wrong, so you can laugh at me. Him, Charles, and Vitalik created Ethereum, and they were able to see a lot of the problems that Ethereum has with scaling at its inception. So he went on to create Polkadot. So definitely go check out his Twitter. Go check out his pedigree. He's well known in the crypto space. Put a lot of work in. He's an OG, so he's not someone that's trying to scheme you and stuff like that. This is a legitimate project, but they're in the token phase. They're getting ready to launch everything. It's gonna be a powerful project. Just like when I was talking about Chainlink, you can't have smart contracts without oracles. So Chainlink is going to pump. It's just a reality. Like, it's going to pump. If you look at the past month, look at Ethereum, it's up 69%. If you guys listen to me, I've been talking about Ethereum for, back when it was $143, and now we're almost at $400 and counting, and it's still undervalued. I wouldn't buy it right now because it's pumping. Wait for a pullback and then get in. I'm going to create another course in the academy to teach you guys about like how to enter in the market, how I enter into the market and stuff like that. I just saw another donation. How much catching up will I have to do signing up this late for your academy? No, the coding boot camp has started, but as far as like the modules, like they're just, I'll show you right now. It's just 2 courses. You can take the courses whenever you feel like it. Darius Harper, like it's learn as you go. The coding boot camp is different. It's time sensitive because that was for founding members, right? So I created a $1,000 product for the first 20 people that would sign up for the academy, and we obviously sold out of that. I refunded 3 people because they wanted their money back, and then 3 more people joined. So now it's not like that was for lifetime membership. Now it's $1,000 for the year. But we're going to go from JavaScript to going into Solidity. You can look all over YouTube. You can look over the internet. You're not going to find a lot of people teaching you about Solidity. It's new, right? It's new information. It's new technology. So, and again, this is not for poor people. This is not for, to buy back the block. This is not for Black love and Black equality. This is for people who you want to learn about this technology. You want to be able to learn how to become, a blockchain developer and work on smart contracts. This is for people who have resources. You have some experience, right? I'm not here selling you guys a dream. Right. So if you don't have the resources to get involved in the product, then don't get involved. But we have it right here. It's a yearly product. Then we have yearly for just like if you just want to learn about crypto, privacy coins, stuff like that. But again, it's all on the website. A link to the website's in the description below. I don't want to use this video to sell my stuff. I want to use this video to teach. I don't want to try to promote no products and stuff like that. But yeah, the market's pumping, man. The market's pumping. But pay attention to Polkadot. Another project that's really good. It's pumped already. Elrond Network. This project has the ability to be good because it also uses Solidity as well to program smart contracts. So keep an eye out on that. But just look at overall at the crypto market. It's been insane. Look at Aave, another project that I like. I have a big bag of Ontology. I have a big bag of Atom. A huge bag of what's the name? Tezos. So the difference is there was a hard fork because there was a hack back in I believe it was 2015, 2016. It was the DAO hack, and Vitalik wanted to roll back the chain, and there was a fork happens when the community can't reach consensus, right? So there was a hack that happened in a DAO. I believe it was like $50 million. It was a $50 million hack of a smart contract. And there were people in the Ethereum community who wanted to roll back the chain so that people can get their money back. And then there was another group of people who didn't want to roll back the chain. So it created a hard fork because some people believe that code is law. If something is immutable, then no one person should be able to change what's happened in the blockchain, whether it was a hack or not. If the hacker was able to get the funds, he should be able to keep it. Like some people believe that code is law. And then people like Vitalik and them, they don't believe that. So they rolled back the chain and they created a hard fork. So they're both the same technology, but just one group of community, they have a different set of consensus than the other group. It's the same thing with like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, right? They forked from the same chain, from the same Genesis block. It's just that there's people who have different philosophies. So some people want to go one direction and other people want to go another one. And then over time, one of the chains are going to win out. One of the projects are going to win out. And right now, Ethereum is winning, right? All of the developments happening on Ethereum, all of the intellectual capital and the financial capital and DeFi is happening on Ethereum, and Ethereum Classic is dead, So, and then I haven't even had a chance to read that yet. There's so much going on, but they just were 51% attacked. So they had to have a whole block reorganization because there's not enough hashing power on the network. People just aren't, on that network, on that blockchain. So Bitcoin Cash is next. Bitcoin Cash is going to get 51% attacked next. They just don't have enough hashing power. The hash rate is too low. So eventually someone's going to attack that network as well. It's only a matter of time. You know, Bitcoin is the most stable blockchain. It has the most proof of work and it has the highest hash rate. You're not 51% attacking Bitcoin. You're just not. And then once I have videos on the channel where I go into all of the technical stuff about that. When you understand all of the mining and the investment that's happening into mining and the people that are going into the mountains and the towns and they're using, you know, wind and solar and hydro dams to, you know, create more electricity or cheaper electricity. People are buying huge, literally entire towns are turning into Bitcoin mining farms. So, you know, all of the money's going into Bitcoin. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Ariane, Jay Morrison's fighting back. He's threatening to sue people. So, boom, 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 boom. Thank you for supporting the business, GC Black. The videos are up. As I said before, you guys got to keep up because, you know, I'm going to keep pumping out a lot of that content for the Coding Academy because by the time we get to for the Coding Bootcamp, I mean, because by the time we get to week 3, week 4, and we start building things, you know, I don't want you guys coming into the videos and the streams when we're building things live and you're asking me like, what's a loop and what's a literal and what's an object? Like you should know these things so that when we start building things, because we're going to build our own exchange with Solidity. So it's important that you understand JavaScript because a dApp is a combination of a front end and a back end. The smart contracts on the back end and the JavaScript and the CSS and HTML makes up the front end. So you have to know a little bit of that. You don't really need to know that. But it's just good to have an understanding of that. So we're starting with JavaScript, not so that you can be a master at JavaScript, but because if you understand JavaScript, then you're going to understand Solidity because both programming languages are similar. I have a big bag of VeChain. VeChain is amazing. VeChain, I have a big bag of VeChain. So understand that. You know, I've told you I have 0x. I have a bag of 0x. I have a bag of VeChain. I'll tell you my picks. Monero is the best cryptocurrency. The problem is Monero is too good. Monero is better than Bitcoin, but the problem is no government's going to allow Monero to exist because of the anonymity and because of the privacy features that it offers. Like Monero is just too. That's going to be the next course. That course should be coming out within the next week to a week and a half. Once you understand the true privacy features and encryption methods that and cryptography that Monero is utilizing, you'll understand why it's superior to Bitcoin. But again, it's just too good. No government's going to allow it to exist. I have a little bit of Cardano. I used to be a real big bull on Cardano. I know that they just launched their main net with Shelly. The problem is that they've had too many delays. And Charles, to me, I'm losing faith in Charles' ability. And I like the Polkadot project better, but I think I have maybe $5,000 or $10,000 invested in Cardano, something small. Like I don't have a lot of Cardano. It's a tiny position. I have big money in like Bitcoin. I have a lot of money in Tezos. I have a lot of money in Monero. That's one of my favorite coins. I do all my business through Monero. Big bag of Atom, decent sized bag of Ontology, decent bag of Basic Attention Token. What else do I own? Ontology, Basic Attention, a token, 0x. I was telling Courtney Gibson earlier, and because we had a live stream for the students, I was telling Courtney Gibson that, you know, I don't plan on selling anything till we hit $1 trillion market cap, but I just don't like 0x. I like the project, but I just don't like the way it's been trading. You know, it's not pumping the way I wanted it to pump, but I have a big bag of it. Like when I have a big bag, I mean like I have 50,000 and up invested. I have a big bag of these positions. I have a lot of money in it. It's not just all my money. It's also some of my investors' money as well. Augur, that's one of my favorite projects. You know, prediction markets are going to be amazing. What else do I own? Waves. I have a bag of Waves. I have a little bit of Engine coin. It was like airdropped to me when I used to have my coins on Binance. This was like a few years ago, but I don't really promote it. I have a little bit of Nano too, but I don't really care about the project. Like, I don't really care about those projects. If they pump, they pump. I don't really care. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I have Steam from when I used to promote on Steam, but Steam is dead too. Oh, and Matic. Matic is one of my favorite layer 2 solutions. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I have a Neo. But I don't get. That's a scam too. That coin's I lost a lot of money in that coin. I lost a lot of money in that coin. I wouldn't recommend that coin to anyone. So, yeah, that's about it. I have a little bit of Golem. Yeah, that's it. Stellar Lumens is garbage. Yeah, I was Paul. I've been hearing about Celsius Network. I believe TD Hip Hop asked me about it to look into it. I just don't. Sometimes I don't have the time to look into these projects. I get so busy at times. That's how I know a lot of these brothers who they have wives and kids and stuff like that. Like there's no way that they can really be able to run a business properly because it's just not enough time in the day. So, but we're coming up on 2 hours on the dot. I'm going to leave the live stream here. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll get back to crypto. We'll get back to gold and silver. We'll get back to the economy. I'm going to stay on Jay Morrison's head now because he's threatening to sue. So, I might as well go all out now if he's threatening to sue me. So, guys, please do me a favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the mailing list so that I can email you and notify you in case YouTube doesn't let you. Follow me on Instagram and be sure to shoot me a message on my DMs if you have any questions, concerns, or issues. Have a blessed and beautiful evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll get back to the fun stuff and away from the drama.